Avery, did the cat get your tongue? Boop, boop, boop. Hello everybody, back out here on the property today on a very windy, blustery day. Nice day though, sun's out. It's really windy. I hope you can hear me okay. Well, it's time to start working on our fence. If you've been watching our videos for a while, back in the fall, you remember I started on this stretch of fence. I set all the posts, corners, the T-posts, and that was about all I got done. Hunting season was on us, so then we were in hunting mode, and we did not want to be out here making a bunch of rackets, stirring things up, and potentially chasing deer out of here. So we quit on that. Well, then a couple of weeks in the hunt season, when we started seeing all the hogs, so then we got a hog trap, borrowed one from my son-in-law, put the hog trap out here just about a month ago, and a week after putting the hog trap out, they all kind of disappeared. But those hogs, I believe, were coming in through this stretch right back here where I have the fence down. And one of the reasons I kind of held off on finishing this project, because I wanted to catch one of them hogs or some of them, put something in the freezer. But anyway, it's time to get it done. Kind of drug my feet long enough on it. And today I'm out here. I'm going to try to get all the tools and everything ready. Make sure I got everything here. I might even start stretching some wire. Well, my come along's still laying out here, getting kind of rusty. But what I don't see is the wire clamp. I don't see it laying around here, so hopefully I picked it up when I pulled out of here and took it up to the shed. Because without that, we're not going to get much done today. We'll go look up there. Okay, so I found my wire clamp. These aren't the best, this style, but they work. I don't know if I can do this with holding the camera, but anyway, you pull back on this. Let's see, hold this here, and that opens that up right there. You put your wire in there, and when you pull on this here, hook your come along to that and pull, it'll pull this here tight against the wire, and it holds it. It's supposed to hold it, but I have them quite often come out. Not only that, I've even had them pinch the wire there, break it. There's another style. It's just a rod with that's kind of tapered, and it's got this other tapered sleeve over it and a notch in it. You slip the wire in there, and as you pull it, that sleeve pulls tight against the wire, and they seem to work a lot better. But this is what I have. This is what I'm going to use. Well, I wanted to wear my GoPro while I was doing this, but I grabbed it at the house. I didn't pay enough attention, and it's not in here. It's on the charger at home, so we're just going to use our phone. Okay, I got our wire tied on. Just wrapped it around twice. Just wrapped it around there as tight as I could with my hand several times. All the jump just gets there and slowly back up. Get the other end and tie on the other end and start stretching. Not sure if you're going to be able to see this through this scratched up glass, but this is what we do all the way to the other end. Just back up. When we get to the other end, we'll stretch it. Okay, we're all hooked up. You can see how that clamps in there. As this pulls tight, pulls this down against there and snugs that up so it won't slip. And this wire here is going to go right above this pipe, this first one. So I'm going to start cranking on it, and once I start getting it fairly tight, I'll walk down through there and kind of shake the wire, make sure all the tension gets spread out, because right now pulling on it, all the tension is going to be on this end, and you need to go through there and kind of slap it around, and that sends that tension down through there. And I have not cut it off the spool yet. I always have trouble with this. I don't know the best way to do it, but I'll kind of leave it on there a little bit until I get a little closer, and then I'll just guess. I'll make a guess and cut it off. That's where I have enough to make 2 wraps and around the pole, and where I can you know, get it wrapped around the wire. This is going to be a little harder because this pipe's here, but we'll get by. So I'm gonna start stretching. Okay, I think we got it tight enough. I might pull a couple more cranks on it, and we're going to go ahead and wrap it up and tie it to the post. Okay, got it tied off. Now what I'm going to do now is walk down through there, and in a few different places tie that wire up where it's supposed to be, and come back and look down it, make sure it's nice and uniform. It looks nice and not I don't want it looking like all this craziness. Get this top wire pretty good, and then all the other wires will kind of measure off it. But also I want to grab my level and make sure all the T-posts are good and level. I actually leveled them when we set them, but it's been a while, and I hit one of them down there with the skid steer earlier, so I'm going to do that next. Okay, I've got the top wire temporarily tied in. I don't know if you can even see that on this camera, but I've got it to where I like it. It's pretty uniform, not a lot of dips and humps in it. So I'm going to go now and get my easy clips and go ahead and permanently tie it where it's at, and then we'll just have to repeat the process 7 more times with 7 more wires we got to put up. Although they're going to be a little easier, we're not going to have to you know, we'll just measure off of the wires we have here, and they should all come out pretty uniform. Okay, I got all the wire stretched, got it tied up, went, you know, every 4th or 5th pole, and just temporarily tied it up. Now out here today, and I've recruited some help. Got a little T-post clipping party going, and go through and get them all clipped up. Then after that, just need to paint them all, and we're done with this little stretch. After that, we just have another 150-foot stretch down on that very end to finish. So almost done. Avery's in charge of clip distribution, and Harmony's over here patrolling for bugs and snakes. And I'm doing what I do best. Well, the old man and his fence saga continue. Last week, got right there, that fence kind of finished up. That was phase 2 of this project. That's been going on for almost 2 years now. Andrea came out and helped me, got everything clipped. All I need to do on that yet is paint. And I've elected to go ahead and finish this very last part, which I called phase 3, is only 150 feet. So that's where we stretched the wire from the other day on phase 2 and got everything tied off. And from there, it's going to go this direction, right up through there. I set this post yesterday morning, and I'd like to get another day on it, at least, or 2 before I really stretch a lot of wire. But I'm going to go ahead and put my pipe in between here and the little diagonal cable in today. And on the other end, back here, I'm going to have to take these cedar trees out and clear all this up. Still have some fence to take out here. It's going to go under these trees, and I don't want to disrupt these live oaks any more than I have to. There's so many of them dying around here, and these are still looking in pretty good shape. So I don't want to open any wounds on them. But I think I can get in here. Mainly, I get in here with my chainsaw and cut the cedar out. And then from the other end, there's some dead live oaks hanging down. I'm going to cut them off. I'll be able to get in from that side with the skid steer to pull these old T-posts and reset them at the spacing that I want. You see a little trail right here. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. It goes right through there, up under the fence. I believe that's hogs coming in. There's another real obvious spot over here. It's right here. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but the fence is kind of pulled up, kind of torn. And yeah, you can see a trail going back in there. I'm sure that's the hogs. But anyway, here's my post I set yesterday, or 2 days ago. These I set 2 days ago. I'm going to go ahead and put the braces in there. I've already drilled my holes for the rebar that's going to hold the pipe in here. And I'll attach my wire on. This one will run all the way through and stick out a little bit. Wrap the wire around there to the bottom of that post and put a tensioner on it. Pull it tight. You've seen, I don't know if you watched my earlier videos, but I've already showed how I did all that. If you're interested in any of that, you'll go back and look at some of my earlier videos. But yeah, some of this limbs I'm going to have to trim up a little bit. They're hanging down on the wire. Actually, I really hate to mess with them, cut around on them, but I may have to a little bit. That thing's dead. I can cut it off. A couple of those hanging down there, you can see they're just dead limbs. I'll go ahead and cut them off. But I may end up just cutting all this stuff with chainsaw and having to pull my wire from this end to that end by hand, which it's only 150 feet, so it's not the end of the world. Well, let's see. I know I won't get this much done today, but I'll get my braces put in now. Okay, got my cross beam or H beam in there, whatever you call it. The little tensioners in here. And I don't know if these things are any good or if they even do anything, but they look pretty. You know, the posts are in concrete. What they do is once I tighten them up, this gets real tight. I mean, this pipe gets real tight in here. Pulls them both together. Okay, now I'm gonna see if I can cut some of these limbs off, these dead ones out of the way, and start taking this fence loose.
Hey, I wanted to give you all an update of a few things we have going on, and what I'm going to record today may come out after one of our next videos. We're planning on going to Lake LBJ, doing some jug line fishing Easter weekend. So I'm just going to show you a few things here, but I think we're going to have some other videos come out before this one. So anyways, in a previous video I showed y'all we have a hen that is broody and has been sitting on some eggs. So we're going to check her out today. I haven't checked her on the last couple of days and just see if anything's going on with her. Okay, so first of all, that big rock over there, something had dug in. Actually, it dug in out here. Over there, I piled a bunch of rocks on the outside. Looks like they've survived. So whatever it was hasn't gotten back in. And I think whatever got in may have gotten out over here. So I shoved that rock in there the other day. Okay, let's check on our broody hen. Oh, we got a busted shell. So these 4 eggs over here, they've basically been there for a couple of weeks. So I'm gonna toss those, but I didn't mess with them because we had some other chickens laying. I think we've got all the other chickens to move. As of right now, she's not very happy with me. I don't think anything's hatched yet. Okay, so we'll keep an eye on her and we'll let you know when she has baby chicks and we add to the flock. So we have this other chicken coop over here that we normally keep locked up. It was one I originally built about 10 years ago, and oops, bumped my head. And it's not as good as the other one because it doesn't have the rollaway box, but it does have these nesting boxes and you can get access from the outside. This top's, you know, pretty rough shape. Problem is they scrape the straw out and then they lay the eggs and they get on top of them and they end up breaking. I've been able to get them out pretty good the last few days. We've got this sliding thing Kerry added to it a few years ago. So anyways, we'll keep you updated on the chickens. And let me show you what Kerry's been working on with the boat this past week. So I'll show you that here in just a second. Okay, so the other project has to do with the boat. So last weekend, Kerry and I came out here and we were going to tie up some loose lines that we had noticed, wires that were dangling under the boat. I'm not sure if they went to the brake lights or what. But anyways, so as we were crawling around zipping those up, the fender boards were rotten. And we knew one of them was in really bad shape. I could see it was loose. We could see it was loose. And it's been on the list to get it replaced for a while, and we ended up deciding, well, while we're out here messing around, let's go ahead and take them off. So let me show you real quick what we did. So I don't know if you can see the white zip tie over there. I put a few of those on those wires. But over here on the inside, these fender boards were having issues. Some of the bolts had completely rusted through, and they just didn't look very good, and it was wobbling and rotten. So we removed them last weekend off both sides, and I'll show you those in just a minute up on the porch. That hurt. I'll show you those in a minute on the porch. So the other thing we've got are the bunk boards, and the carpet's coming off. This bunk board carpet's coming off. The board, that one feels okay. We're going to try to check them here. We're going to pull the boat out before we put them back on, and I want to lay into there and kind of beat them with a hammer a little bit, see if they're rotten. But back here you can see this carpet as you're pulling the boat on. These corners, those are going to, right here, those are going to gouge the boat, front of the boat as you're pulling onto the ramp. So let me go show you the fender boards and what we've done, or actually what Kerry's done this week while I've been working. So here are the original, or at least the original to us, bunk boards. And as you can see, they are in rough shape. The carpet was coming off as well, and they need to be replaced. The bolts were so rusted and nasty, we couldn't get them off other than using like a Dremel saw. We had to cut most of them off. I don't think we got a single one off the regular way. And then here's the other one over here. So we went to the lumber store and we bought a 2x10 by 10 feet, I think, long. And that was enough to cut out two 5-foot or slightly less than 5-foot sections. So Kerry cut these out this week using the original board. One of the original boards is a template. And then we both went out there and held it up and we marked these holes for where the bolts are going to go on both of them. We did make sure when we marked them that we put on the back, I don't know if you can see the writing down there, kind of the front, inside, right side of the boat. And then we did the same on this one. So on these original fender boards, the side facing the wheel was painted black. So I went ahead and I just painted these so they're a little bit tacky. And we're going to put new bunk board on the other side. It doesn't need to go all the way around, so we're just going to pull it over, you know, a little ways until we can make sure and get it stapled. So this is the new bunk board carpet that I got this week. Cuda, C-U-D-A, I think was the name of the company, had it shipped. This was the largest or the widest section you could get at 24 inches. I can't remember. I think to do everything, we were supposed to have a little more than 100 feet. So it's somewhere around there. When I made the calculations, I was calculating though covering everything, so we should have a little extra to play with in case we make mistakes. Whether or not we actually get to the bunk boards underneath the boat is yet to be seen. So we really don't have a way to take the boat off the trailer near the house. When we're down there for Easter, we are going to just see how much trouble it's going to be. We don't want to spend, you know, hours and hours of our vacation over Easter weekend working on the boat, but we do need to try to get it done. And really the best way to get it done is you take the bunk boards off, and our concern is that what if we can't get them off, or we only get them partially off, or one of the boards is rotten and we have problems, and then we're into a major project without all of our tools and everything. So we'll see how that goes and what we end up actually doing. We may have to save it for another weekend. We'll just have to wait and see, and actually take the boat for intentionally this purpose. So once these finish up drying, we've got kind of a windy day. It's a little bit tacky, so we got some sawdust kind of blowing around here. We're going to use, I did a little research, and you don't have to glue it. You can just use staples, but we might go ahead and put a adhesive down, put it on there. We want to stretch it real tight, and then we're going to use these stainless steel staples. So we have a bunch of staples. When Kerry and I got married, I think he had 2 or 3 and I had 2 or 3 staple guns. So we've got plenty. Of this one is an automatic one we can actually plug in, so we may do that. And then of course we have the manual. We did 1/2 inch. I think there was one size slightly taller was a recommendation. I just ended up going with 1/2 inch. Yeah, I got some paint on me. And then we're going to do this a little differently than what they had. I think they just had a bolt that went in with a nut, and it was very difficult to get out. So what we're going to do is a bolt, washer, through the hole, another washer, and then a lock nut. So we will plan on working on that when Kerry gets home. So anyways, we'll be working on several projects. Hopefully I'll be able to go out and help Kerry this weekend at some point. The girls have softball games. We're going to be in one city that's about 45 minutes away, maybe not quite that far, at 9, and then we're going to finish that game up, head to another city that's about 45 minutes away from that city, let Harmony play her games at noon, should hopefully be done around 1:30, and then drive back home, hopefully be back here around 2:30 or 3, and then I'm sure we'll be exhausted by then, but we'll see if we can't move on to the next step, and I'll show you when we do that and how it turns out, maybe later today. Okay, so Kerry and I just wrapped this first board, and the bolts we had were a little too short, so I made another quick run to Lowe's. We're not sure what we're doing, but it's covered, stapled, and glued, so we're going to go install it now on the boat. Okay, we installed the first one. After a few little glitches, we got it all to work. Looks much better, so we're gonna go ahead and do the other one now. Are you helping us glue this other one down? Putting some pressure on it?
Avery, did the cat get your tongue? Boop, boop, boop. Are you helping?
Okay, stapled and glued. So we just finished putting the other one on. As you can see, it looks a lot better. So we'll see about getting these done. We've decided we're not going to do it on our Easter trip. So this video where we do these repairs will probably come out after the Easter trip video. So Kerry, once we finish this, Kerry was saying, you know, the last couple of years with the seats looking so bad and the trailer looking pretty rough with the carpet tearing off and rotten boards that aren't connected very well, that when we're out there at the boat ramp, you look around, these other people have, you know, $150,000 boats, and he's walking up to get our trailer to go back and get the boat and looking at everybody else's trailers. It's kind of been funny. So anyways, we have it looking in a little bit better shape now. So not that we were embarrassed, but it's kind of funny when you see that. But we make it work. We do our own little repairs here around the house. And bring it into the shop when we need to. So hopefully we can get some fish on this Easter trip, and y'all are gonna know before I do right now.